Hello and welcome. Today on BOI Weekly, Bank of Industry supports Northern Nigeria Flour Mills PLC, a leading player in Nigeria's food processing industry. Operating from its base in Kano, northwestern Nigeria, the milling company with interests in processing wheat, maize, sorghum and other grains got the Bank of Industry's intervention to acquire a 330 metric ton capacity sorghum milling machine, the first of its kind in Nigeria. With that intervention, the company is now able to maximize its offtake of sorghum and sundry grains from farmers in the region, dealing a huge blow to post-harvest losses in the region, providing jobs and putting food on the table of millions across the country. Also on the show today, we'll take a look at another business in the food processing industry that has enjoyed BOI's intervention. Niger Biscuit has been making great and timeless biscuits from flour since Nigeria gained independence. The company, with its factory located in Ogun State, southwestern Nigeria, is one of the major off-takers of products from flour milling industries like Northern Nigeria Flour Mills. I'm Kaide Alayande. Welcome to the program. This is Northern Nigeria Flour Mills, a leading milling company in Nigeria that prides itself as one feeding the nation every day. A subsidiary of Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC, the company with interests in milling of wheat, maize, sorghum and other grains produces a wide variety of flour for grain meals like semovita, wheat offal, masa flour, germ flour, masavita and corn offal. It also offers a retail and wholesale range of household products under the Golden Penny brand names for baking and confectionery purposes such as Golden Penny flour, Golden Penny sugar and Golden Penny rice, all sold and distributed across the country. This makes it a key stakeholder in the Nigerian food processing industry. Even though sorghum has been with us from the beginning, the cash crop in the last few years has begun to gain acceptance, not just in northern Nigeria but also across the country, giving a rising awareness about its health benefits and its potential to earn farmers and processors better income. This is also on the back of government policy of high import prices on the product. Clearly, industrial demand for sorghum is growing in Nigeria, with about 20% of the total sorghum produced being taken up by industries. That's too steep to be ignored by serious industry players like Northern Nigeria Flour Mills. That's why the Bank of Industry supported the company to acquire a 330 metric ton per day sorghum cleaning and processing plant, first of its kind in Nigeria.
Mainly, we get our sorghum flour from yellow sorghum, the grain. We have aggregators, we buy sorghum, and it's just to promote the local content of what the federal government is pushing. The production process, you got your sorghum from local suppliers. After we have the sorghum, it's taken through different cleaning process to remove the impurities. After that is done, we now subject it into cleaning. What we have, the system of cleaning is actually distinguish us from other plants. That's the major investment we use the BOI fund to do, and that actually separates us from other plants. And I can mention that this is the first sorghum plant in Nigeria. So the killing machine, what it does is that we are applying steam to the grain. Number one, it pre-cooks it. By pre-cooking, that has actually reduced the cooking time of the final product, which is the sorghum flour. And again, it actually extends the keeping time of the flour. That's the advantage. So after we have cleaned it, you condition it again, you allow it to rest, then we take it to the mill. By milling is repetitive grinding and sieving. We are crushing the grain into smaller particle size. Then it's going through different separation and the flour is cut. It's a more complex system, but for a layman, that just is more complex than that. Then you can then pack your flour, the sorghum flour, into 50 kg, and the one that goes through the hammer mill into 1 kg. That's the dawa vita. So that's all about, in summary, like I said, it's more complex than that, of the production process of the sorghum grain. The capacity of the sorghum plant is at 300 metric tons in 24 hours per day. That's the sorghum flour. But for the dawa vita, that's the kwasa part, is 72 metric tons per 24 hours. That's the hammer mill for your dawa vita. But they both use sorghum grain. The difference is that one is more coarser than the other. Our sorghum flour, we can use it to make boiled food, that's tuwo. And then in a pap form, that's kunu. You can use it for kunu too. All our raw material is 100% local. It's through local supplier, no importation. So we are keyed into the federal government policy of local content. It's 100% local from our local suppliers.
The Northern Nigeria Flour Mills was incorporated as a private limited liability company on the 29th of October 1971. The company was later converted to a public limited liability company in 1978, and its shares are currently quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. With decades of experience in the food and agro-processing sector, the MD speaks about the milling landscape in Nigeria as well as the brand's positioning and growth potential in the sector.
Well, we mainly operate in the agro sector, as you do know. And the agricultural sector in Kenya is one of the major pillars for the Nigerian economy. We have managed to capture a big portion of that market with our company. At the moment, I think the Nigerian economy and the agri sector is giving jobs to more than 35% of the population, and we are in the midst of the farmer community in the north. So for growing potential, I think there's a lot of potential in growing the business. At the moment, a small percentage, I think it's about 40% of the total agri sector is only, of the arable land is only being farmed, and therefore there's a lot of opportunity in itself for the local communities and obviously for the industries to procure local content.
A key factor fueling business growth at Northern Nigeria Flour Mills is proximity to raw materials, an edge they have continued to nurture by maintaining a good relationship with local farmers.
If you look at the stats, like I said, only 40% of the arable land is being farmed. So that opportunity there gives us a lot of opportunity in itself to produce more grains and to process those grains in our businesses. So that is for us the major key, that if all the communities all the farmer communities can have a benefit by accessing maybe scientific farming and being helped by the government to increase their crop yields, then that way, then I believe that the industry can grow. I think we are fortunate for Northern Nigeria flour mills because we are in the center of where the most farmers are growing the crops. And that gives us easier access to raw material. So not many external factors has influenced and affected us negatively. Our company and our mother company, Flour Mills of Nigeria, are part of the Flour Millers Association group, and where that association, the core function of that association is to get all the farmers grouped and then to have their interest at heart and also the industry interest at heart. That way we're bringing all the parties together, and in that way we can ensure that there's a win-win situation for both parties.
For the MD, Northern Nigeria Flour Mills has maintained a solid relationship with the Bank of Industry following the bank's intervention for product diversification. This helped increase the company's capacity for job creation.
We've had a very good and excellent relationship with the Bank of Industry, I mean for a long time, more especially from 2016 when we started the installation of the Sorghum mill, where the bank was very key in giving us advice and insight from their side, and also having access to subsidized funding, access to those funds in a subsidized manner. Before 2016 and actually 17, when we actually commissioned the Sorghum mill, we increased our staff strength with about, I would think, is 10% or 15% increase in staff complement. Our revenue from last year to this year increased from with 153%. That is revenue increase, and obviously we can see with the annual results, even the profitability of the company improved to a positive this past year.
Like other businesses, Northern Nigeria Flour Mills had its fair share of the impact from the COVID-19 pandemic. Farmers who provide them with raw materials could not go to the farm. Distribution was also a challenge, as haulage and logistic companies could not operate. However, thankfully, the company still managed to stay afloat with huge stocks of grains available for processing and, of course, patronage from government for products distributed as palliatives during the period. Also, COVID-19 intervention from the federal government, like reduced interest rates and extended loan tenure initiatives through the Bank of Industry, also helped to shield the company from the crisis.
We were fortunate at that point in time because we had grains available and we just had to process those grains during those times. The difficulty was logistics, getting the product to the market, because as we all know, the roads and the markets were closed. So that was a difficult challenge to overcome. However, there was assistance by the government. Assistance that it gave us is the ability to acquire raw material during the harvest time, which is currently happening as we speak. So that is the assistance that is given by Bank of Industry, and that is how it helps us to get the raw material at a good price.
So what plan does Northern Nigeria Flour Mills have up its sleeves in terms of maximizing local content, especially after the COVID-19 threat?
For us, our biggest aim is to increase our processing of local content. And by doing so, inevitably we're going to have to increase maybe our product offering to the consumer. Therefore, maybe do product development more than what we are doing currently. And in that way, we will grow the business going forward.
More importantly, the company is grateful to the Bank of Industry and the federal government for the various lines of intervention to local manufacturers.
I think there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around as to what funds are being used for. From my personal point of view and from the business point of view, I can say that the company is very much appreciative of the government's intervention on the palliatives that they have given for both industry and for the community at large. Those things is things that you need to see more of. And yes, so I think those are just conspiracy theories, and we are grateful that we have a government that is taking care of both industry and of the community.
The Niger Biscuit Company Limited was incorporated 6 months before Nigeria gained independence in 1960. It's been involved in manufacturing and sale of biscuits, chewing gum, and other confectionaries. The first company to produce biscuits and chewing gum in Nigeria. Once we arrived at the Niger Biscuit Limited factory complex in Sorghum, Ogun State, and met with the managing director, Mr. Panos Varelas, who says the new facility has helped increase their capacity.
This operation here has doubled our capacity in a sense. This is extra capacity which we built, and with, of course, with the help of Bank of Industry.
Thereafter, we were shown around the massive 21-hectare complex to see the installed plant and machinery that the Bank of Industry funded. 4 power generating sets, 2 of them powered by gas from a gas plant close by, 2 large silos and 3 production lines, and massive ovens, just to mention a few. The production manager, Mr. Adeola Alao, was our tour guide. He quickly runs me through how Cabin Biscuit, as well as their other brands, are produced.
The flour comes from the silo that is out there. Then we have intermediate silos where the flours are kept. So based on the batches needed, we press the knob. This is the knob. After pressing the knob, the flour is being discharged into the mixing tub. All right? Then you mix all the necessary ingredients. It's being mixed for about 14 minutes. It's a straight dough. It's being mixed for about 14 minutes. Then after the mixing, we move it straight to the line. Here we have the quality assurance department, where we test for all the raw materials, for the finished products, and even during production we test online what is being produced. Virtually all the tests needed, we check.
After we saw the whole facility, the company's executive director, Mr. Femi Akiniro, tells me how the company has evolved and managed to stay in business in the last half a century, plus the impact of the strategic partnership with the Bank of Industry.
Niger Biscuit was incorporated in 1960, April 7th. It was first of all incorporated as a pioneer biscuit company in 1960, April 7. But later in 1962, April 26, the name was now changed to Niger Biscuit Company Limited. And since then, Niger Biscuits have been into production of biscuits and confectionaries. From a section, they started with a line of biscuits, with a biscuit line. And with time, they grew to 3 lines. And in 1998, we bought another factory in 31 Creek Road, Apapa. And we had 7 lines on that in Creek Road, Apapa. And in the management drive to get fallow ground because of Apapa it's just too expensive for the manufacturing of biscuits. We decided to get a land in Ogun State, Sorghum. We have 3 product lines in Sorghum. we are running 3 biscuits line now. We run the cabin product so far. While in Apapa, we still run chewing gum, the Jenka with the brand name Jenka chewing gum. While our cabin products, we have the Royal trademark Oxford biscuits, Oxford brand, also brand our Royal products. That is for the biscuits products. The Bank of Industry, when management took the decision of expanding the businesses, when the board took the decision of expanding the business, we approached the Bank of Industry to finance the machineries, the plants and the machineries. It was then that Bank of Industry intervened by granting us the facility, the loan facility, to purchase the machineries and the plants and also the equipment presently in this facility. You know, the loan granted to manufacturers from BOI, from Bank of Industry, the pricing, it's very, it could be 2-digit sum, but it's still better off than the commercial bank. And any manufacturer that will be able to prove the application, the necessary documents, or meets the necessary requirements as may be requested by BOI, definitely they will grant them the loan. It has nothing to do with who you are or who you know. It's all about meeting the desired requirements. So majorly, we use the fund to acquire virtually all the plants and machineries on this facility.
For the Bank of Industry, supporting one is supporting all. That's why the BOI is particularly strategic about its industry-specific interventions, especially in ways that create linkages amongst companies operating within the same value chain. This we have seen with Northern Nigeria Flour Mills operating in Kano, northwestern Nigeria, and Niger Biscuit, located here in the southwest. The goal is to ensure a healthy balance across the entire value chain. This way, the economy is sustained as jobs are created across the country. You too can experience same if you reach out to the Bank of Industry today. For questions or inquiries, you can tweet at me at KAY Alayande. Do remember, the Bank of Industry has so many avenues through which they can support your business. Visit their website at boi.ng or visit any of their branches closest to you for the package that suits you. And that's a wrap on the show for today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kaide Alayande. Bye now.